Urban planning often holds the promise of creating better cities, but when designs fail to align with real-world needs, they can have disastrous consequences. Let's explore two infamous examples, Brasília, Brazil, and the Pruitt-Igoe housing project in St. Louis, Missouri. These cases reveal how visionary plans can fall short, leaving lasting impacts on residents and urban landscapes. Brasília was inaugurated in 1960 as Brazil's new capital, designed by renowned architect Oscar Niemeyer and urban planner Lúcio Costa. Its layout was inspired by a modernist vision of a utopia. The city was built in the shape of an airplane, symbolizing progress and innovation. Government buildings, residential zones, and commercial areas were meticulously separated into distinct zones. However, what worked in theory failed in practice. Brasília's design prioritized cars over pedestrians, leaving little room for the organic development of neighborhoods or local businesses. Today, only 25% of the population lives in the central area, while the majority reside in peripheral satellite towns, facing long commutes. Moreover, the rigid zoning has stifled spontaneity and community engagement. Streets often feel desolate, and the lack of mixed-use spaces contributes to a sterile atmosphere. A city meant to symbolize democracy and inclusivity ironically became one of the most unequal urban areas in Brazil, with stark divides between the wealthy central districts and impoverished outskirts. Despite its architectural beauty, Brasília struggles to function as a livable city. Pruitt-Igoe, completed in 1956, was a public housing project in St. Louis intended to provide affordable housing for the city's working-class residents. The complex featured 33 identical high-rise buildings with modern amenities like elevators and communal spaces. Initially hailed as a model of modern urban housing, it soon became a symbol of planning gone awry. Several factors contributed to its failure. By the 1960s, St. Louis was experiencing significant population decline due to suburbanization and deindustrialization. With fewer tax-paying residents, the city struggled to maintain Pruitt-Igoe, and neglect set in. Poor design also played a role. The building's isolated and repetitive layout fostered a sense of alienation. The lack of economic opportunities and public services exacerbated poverty and crime, turning the complex into an urban nightmare. By 1972, just 16 years after its completion, the city began demolishing Pruitt-Igoe. Its failure became a cautionary tale, showcasing how top-down urban planning without consideration for economic and social factors can backfire catastrophically. Both Brasília and Pruitt-Igoe highlight critical lessons. A focus on aesthetics or idealized visions, without addressing human needs, often leads to dysfunction. Over-reliance on cars, rigid zoning, and neglect of community input can turn ambitious plans into cautionary tales. Urban planning is as much about people as it is about spaces. Brasília and Pruitt-Igoe stand as reminders of what happens when cities are designed without considering the complexities of urban life. Learning from these failures, modern planners can strive to create cities that are not only innovative but also inclusive and adaptable.